It's official now. The Hive Hustle Podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts. Even through a major loss, still remain a boss.
The first question is always, man, like, where did it start? Like, where did street culture, hip hop, krump, whatever that was for you, whether it be dominoes at the table, whether it be spades, you know what I'm saying? Where did it first start? Like, how did you get introduced to it?
Dance culture in general? Well, dance culture started for me from my family. My cousins were into... Well, my cousin who's actually on the podcast with me right now is his name is Twerk, but he started on a step team.
Okay.
And then within that step team, him and my other cousin, they started clown dancing.
Okay.
And
what year was this?
that was like, it had to be like early 90s.
Really? Well, clowning was around for a long time.
Yeah, so it's like 95 when they're actually into the clown dancing era.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I saw that, and I used to go to their stuff all the time, and I was like, I want to learn this. Like, this looks dope, you know. And I always had like a love for dancing because my brother was into it because he used to do like Cisco, Usher stuff.
Yeah.
Every time he would see the videos, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to, learn that. But then seeing the clown dancing, that's when I really like took off for me because I was like, I'm in there.
Yeah.
I want to learn that. So
because you was tail, backpack, all that high school and everything.
Everything.
I remember. I wasn't around you, but I heard the stories. I heard Suave was the dude with the tail and the backpack and the everything.
Yeah.
With the, I think you had the freaking you had braids back then, didn't you?
Braids with the beads.
With the beads and everything. All of that. So
that
I know.
Me. I hopped in there like crazy with it. Like, and the crazy thing about it was when I learned clown dancing, it was literally by myself. Like,
so you didn't have no inspiration?
No, I had like the people that I would watch, but I would literally I would literally go out on my balcony every day and practice. Like, I had this little radio. I would go on my balcony and practice every day.
Wow.
And then I just started learning that and getting better. And then we went to places and I would see people doing it. I'm like, this is my chance. this is my opportunity.
I could do it right now and be seen.
Yeah. And I'll get out there and do it. And people started seeing me. And then the crazy thing about that was like school. In school, like, for people to say like I was the guy back then in dancing, I wasn't the guy at first. You know what I mean? Like, I was invisible at school. And then all of a sudden, like, I got good at dancing and everybody knew me. Then everybody's like, "Oh, he's the one who gets
you a
crazy
hood
at dancing."
legend.
Yeah,
Suave is the hood legend name.
Yeah,
people know.
And my name started spreading around, and it was just crazy because I'm like, dang, like I just was trying to get better.
And the crazy part about it is nowadays you got to have Instagram and TikTok. Back then, it was word of mouth.
It was word of mouth.
Like,
so it was like schools.
Your name was like ringing bells in Shap for freaking Valley. All the high schools in Vegas. I remember because I was a Sigma Beta.
Yeah.
And I was like getting into clowning. Like, I was like wobbling and like, and everybody was like, where'd you learn that? I'm like, well, I learned it from Mecca, but I know these people over here, they be getting it in. I just don't know who they are yet.
Yeah. People knew about us through like schools and stuff because we would go to schools and like battle people or at the football game. So it was like, it was crazy. Like, in the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, I was like kind of like a bully with that junk, just because I was like hungry on like the dance. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I want to like try to get better and better, and I want to better myself. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm a battle anybody. So that's how me and Snoop kind of got connected through that. Was when we first met, it was gonna be a battle.
I feel you.
When I
think that's how most friends start. You argue with them, and then you become best friends.
But then me and Snoop started labbing together. So it went from me labbing by myself to me and Snoop labbing in the garage all the time. And then more and more people started coming. And that's pretty much how like the Goons, Suave Garage, and all that stuff was like birthed through like just labbing at home pretty much.
Well, just to let you know, man, like last night we were labbing here and a lot of new people came. And I was outside with my little homie, little mafioso Richard. And he was like, man, like the energy's just so crazy in here. And I was like, bro, what does it remind you of? He's like, you know what? He's like, this reminds me of like Suave's garage. And I was like, Exactly. I was like, the moment I stepped in Suave's garage for the first time, my krump changed. I've always told people, your garage is the equivalent to Mama I's house in Vegas. Like like if you ever move from that house, I'll tell you this all the time. If you ever move from that house, we have to like take the garage with us.
I know, right?
Like, but I told him that I was like, I've always made sure, because when I first stepped into your garage, I felt a safe space. I felt I could be who I am. And I felt like I could really get off to the best of my potential. Yeah. And I've never felt that until, like, don't get me wrong, when I was at dance studios and stuff like that, but a garage is a whole different world, bro.
Yeah.
And so, like, I did everything I could to create the Hive in that aspect of, like, safe space. It's a great vibe. It's a great energy. And when you walk in, you feel it.
Yeah.
And that's
good. That's good that you do that, because I kind of think that's what we built with my garage, because it wasn't intentional, but it was always like I wanted to have an energy of like love, and anybody can come here, and when you dance, you're gonna get love. So
bro,
it's
everybody says it. When you dance at Suave's garage, the hype you get is a whole different world than anywhere else.
Yeah,
you literally feel like you on top of the world in that garage. Like I don't know what it is. I remember when I battled K-Trey in your garage. I had the moment of a lifetime in that round, and I remember you was like, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting off if Suave looks like that.
Yeah, because I would go crazy, especially in my garage. I'd go super crazy because it's like, and then everything's so like tight knit in there, so it's like the energy's all right there.
It's like right in the middle of everything.
We used to have so many people in there, but I always one thing I always tried to instill in my fams back then was show love. You know what I mean? Like if you show love to the people,
let people know.
Yeah, and it's good to bring the energy out of people. Like even if they're like, you see somebody's not getting there yet, like your hype could get them there. Like they don't know how much giving somebody energy helps them to put more energy out. And that's what I used to do to them, and that's what they used to do to other people, because I used to like kind of like help them with the hype.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that's one thing you've always had.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about clowning. When did it switch for you? Like, when did it switch from clowning to krump?
I want to say like Shake City.
Okay, so Shake City was the initial, like, that was who gave you the DVD?
Yeah, I actually found it. I like discovered it. There's like a website about like Shake City. Yeah, and it was
remember that.
Super old, but like I was like, because I wanted to find like everything on clown dancing back then, so I used to look everything up. Then I came across like Shake City, and I was watching, and I was like, oh, this looks crazy. Like this looks even more crazy than clown dancing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to get this and check it out. And then I heard about tie-dyes back then, but for some reason we always thought his name was Tie-Dye.
I did too.
Yeah,
like tie-dye, like the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I swear when I first heard the name, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, so it was like back in like clown dancing days, that's what I thought when I heard the name. So I was like,
because you think of clown, you think of colorful, tie-dye.
And that's the type of shirts we was wearing and stuff like that. So that's what I thought. And then I saw his name on there, and I was like, tie-dyes. I was like, oh, that's the guy that it was talking about. I was like, let me see this video. I want to see what they're talking about. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, these people are dope. Yeah. Like super dope. And everybody on that video was dope. Like everybody usually has their personal favorites, but like a lot of them were tight. So it's like people always like shine tie-dyes, but like Hurricane was super dope.
Gizmo was tight.
Lil Miho was actually my
was
favorite.
Insane.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Bro,
back then.
Barry was crazy.
Yeah, I freaking like honestly a lot of the inspiration before tie-dyes and all that came from him.
From Lil Miho.
To be honest, that's where the beads and stuff came from.
Yeah, because he had them.
Yeah, that's
and he had that. He had a crazy bang.
Yeah,
like even back then, his bangs were insane.
Oh yeah.
So,
and the one thing that I loved about krump though is even seeing it was there's something about it to where you can tell that this dance has like a lot of expression in it. And I think that's what like really attracted me to it, because I was like watching it and I was like, dang, it seems like you could just create and express and be
you,
whoever you want to be in this. You know, it's like you can literally do whatever.
I feel like krump is a dance style that really, really like it caters to the unknown,
yeah,
the fallen, or like the people that are just like overlooked. Because I feel like a lot of krumpers were overlooked in their younger days. Like me, I was very overlooked. I wasn't popular in high school before I started dancing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was, like you said, you weren't really known before you started dancing.
Yeah.
And then dance gave you your identity. I feel like that's what krump did a lot for a lot of us. And I feel like that's what the style, like just like hip hop, just like popping, breaking, it was just early 2000s instead of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it really gave us that escape.